Hello, everyone. I'm Relkun, and welcome back to another edition of the Community Spotlight. We are back after Summer Games Done Quick 2019, and for tonight's show, you had the choice between Shadow of the Colossus and Mirror's Edge. Votes went in favor of Shadow of Colossus. It wasn't the most tilted vote we'd had, but it was very clear which one you wanted. So we have a race of boss rush hard difficulty for you today, being run by TikTok and Foxy Cleo. We're also joined by Wanderin Riku and Church Neo for commentary. But before we get too much into the Shadow of the Colossus stuff, we have a couple quick announcements. The sprint is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Also, Games Done Quick Express submissions open up July 7th. And we just want to say once more big thank you to everyone who tuned in and supported us during Summer Games Done Quick, helping us hit that $3 million mark for Médecins Sans Frontières, also known as Doctors Without Borders. So beyond that, if you have a game you would like to see on the Community Spotlight, you can always submit it at gamesdonequick.com/hotfix/spotlight.form. You can find that link if you hit !spotlight in chat. And I think that's all of our announcements for today. So, Foxy, Tic Tac, what is it you guys like about Shadow of the Colossus speedruns? What keeps you coming back to this game?
Oh my goodness. And hello everyone, I'm Foxy Cleopatra 1, or Foxy Cleo. I have been playing this game since the PS2 version, and it's just really everything about it. Every run is new, every run is very different, and it just challenges you in ways that you really can't, be 100% consistent every time, but you kind of have to change your strategy and, kind of go with the flow of the game to make sure that, you kind of get the best time that you do. So it's not the same thing every time. It's a lot of fun, and I just love the game and its mechanics overall. So yeah, that's the reason I'm back for so long anyway.
What about you, TikTok?
Well, funnily enough, I got into this game through a friend of mine who ran this game for like forever and casually at first, and then he got into speedrunning, and I was like with him through the journey. He sadly stopped running, but I continued and been running since, loving the competition, loving the difficulty of it, the whole challenge. And yeah, no run is perfect, and that means there's always improvement to be made.
So you guys are running boss rush and hard difficulty. What did those two things change about the speedrun that we're going to see today?
So boss rush is what we ran in, or at least the community has run throughout all of our GDQ stints. Basically, Church Neo ran normal time attack, and then the real main difference is that hard mode, the bosses have more health. There are some more sigils for some of the colossi, and then also they do more damage, and it's just kind of a little bit more of like a, let's say, it's a marathon, not quite a sprint for the most part. So it's very different. It's oddly more calming for me as a usual normal mode runner, but at the end of the day, it's a nice way to change things up and kind of just really show your understanding of the game and its mechanics.
All right, so Church, Riku, why don't you guys introduce yourselves just so people can hear your voices?
Yeah, I'm Church Neo. As Foxy said earlier, I ran this game at AGDQ of this year, so really looking forward to watching the race between these two.
Yeah, hello there. My name is Wanderin Riku. I've been playing this game since like 2006, back in Jump Pack to 2006 as well, the demo disc, and I've been playing since then. I got into speedrunning in 2008, which I realized that the game was quite different the way I played. Some of the Colossus I was like, that's different the way I made. So after that, I would start like digging about the game, and it was basically my favorite game ever. And here I am, pretty much.
All right.
Mhm.
Do you have anything else you guys want to cover before we start?
I do not.
Yeah, me neither. Sorry.
Nothing for me.
Yeah, we're good to go.
All right, then I guess it's time for you guys to get wherever you need to go for the start of the race. And once everybody's ready, we'll do the countdown. All right, so I'm going to type this in the chat for them while I say it out loud. So we're starting the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Why don't you take it away, Church and Riku?
Sure thing. So the first Colossus we have up here, his name is Malus. It's pretty straightforward what you're supposed to do here. So he's got like a minor sigil on his bottom, on the bottom of his left leg. We just have to jump up there and hit it twice. And then during the cutscene that plays after you do hit that sigil there, you'll be able to actually move, and you'll hardly be able to see yourself, but you can line up and go ahead and climb up the front of his face to get onto that top sigil there. And right now we're seeing Tic Tac get into an early position on the head. You'll notice that Foxy Cleo actually has what's called a plant going on right now, and it's pretty much you can grab onto certain spots of certain colossi, and no matter what they do, they will not be able to shake you out of a plant as long as you execute it properly.
Yeah, unless you can sell yourself, if you dodge rolls, something like that. But yeah.
Right. And so this is actually the second sigil here is the one that's added from hard mode over the normal version of the game. And yeah, it's pretty simple. Sometimes they'll be doing a technique where they drop off of the sigil for a second, re-grab, and then switch to the hand. Because when you have the sword sheathed, you actually pull it out faster and your stab charge is a little bit faster. So it's a quicker way to go ahead and execute the stabs. So
yeah,
that's Valus down. There's actually a little bit of downtime in between each Colossus. So I guess I'll go ahead and start talking about the next one, or if you want to take it, Riku.
Yeah, I guess I could take Quadratus, yeah, just a little.
Yeah, so go ahead and describe
All
what's
right.
going on with the next one.
Well, just waiting till they get there, so like it goes a bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, there is some downtime between runs.
Yeah. All right then. So Quadratus' strategy is basically the original, but on a much faster pace. Because every time Quadratus moves, those weak spots beneath the hooves reveal themselves, which gives you a clean shot for a short amount of time. Being done fast enough, you'll be able to climb on him. And Quadratus has like 3 sigils, which is different, than the normal version of the game. And each one of them have about 33% of the health to deplete. So yeah, it's quite challenging actually, in my opinion. Especially the left side, which they do the same technique as the Valus arm, which you guys saw before. They switched to hand as well.
Yeah, and Tic Tac is actually doing a strategy that one of our other Brazilian runners has found out. His name is Marcelo. He does a really specific strategy where he lets go and regrabs after the sigil on the side, and it'll just kind of like push him towards the back sigil, which Tic Tac is on currently. And you'll notice that throughout the run, Tic Tac just did what's called cycle stabbing. Foxy is about to go ahead and be up to that sigil, so I'll explain it while he's doing it there. Basically, what you do is when you are stabbing on like a sloped surface, sometimes you'll be able to just let go and regrab, and you'll be able to stab again in pretty rapid succession. It's a lot faster than if you're planted, but it's also a little bit more risky.
Yeah.
And we can see Tic Tac just finished off with the plant on the front of Quadratus right there.
Which was a solid too.
Yeah, that was a really solid Quadratus right there from Tic Tac.
Very good.
Normally, you'd want to beat this Colossus in about a minute and a half, 1:40 seconds is a pretty solid time. And Foxy looks like he got the plant on the head as well, so you can see right now, like, Quadratus is shaking like crazy, and he is not getting shaken out of the stab there.
Yeah.
So the next Colossus is Gaius, and Gaius has probably one of the cooler strategies to watch. It's actually not changed from the normal version that we've been doing for a while. The difference on Gaius is that he has an extra sigil on his arm, and that sigil takes about 3 stabs, and it's a real pain to actually be able to get on there and get those stabs in because he shakes quite a bit.
Yeah.
So what we do at the start of Gaius here is we actually shoot some arrows directly into Gaius' stomach while he's walking up, and that's just to do a little bit extra damage. It doesn't really waste any time or anything. And then Tic Tac's lining up right now for the probably the coolest trick in the game.
Just watch it.
Ooh, not quite. Yeah,
Ooh,
so he
that's
almost
close.
got it there. That was really close. You pretty much are just straight up launching as Gaius is pulling the sword upwards, and it just gives you enough momentum to fly directly to his head. So it looks like they're both in sync right now, which is pretty cool. One thing about this run in particular is that it's really punishing. So you can actually like get really far behind really fast, and then vice versa.
Mm.
Let's see if both of them can pull it off this time. Not quite for Tic Tac. Again, it's a really hard jump, and it's really precise.
Foxy got it.
Yep, Foxy was able to line it up first time there. And this is a really, like I said, it's a really difficult strategy, so we're not just playing it up. And so Foxy right now has a plant on Gaius' head here. He'll be able to do about 5 stabs, maybe 5 and a quarter or something like that. And then he'll be able to go straight to the arms. Tic Tac lining up the jump again. This time it looks like he is close. So I believe what's going on is he might be just a little bit further up the sword than what would actually get him in the right spot there. But yeah, again, pretty difficult. So you see Foxy here finishing up the arm sigil. As you can see, it shakes quite a bit.
It's quite tricky, yeah.
And then the last sigil is going to be on the stomach.
Which is shakes the most there, yeah. Definitely shakes the
yeah.
most on the stomach.
I think Tic Tac has it this time. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Excellent job. So getting the plant on the head is also pretty tricky. So we'll see if Tic Tac can get that one there. Yep, that looks good.
Yeah,
And then Foxy was trying to finish it up with a with a slash, but he was missing a few times, so he just grabbed it and got a little stab in there.
Yeah. The slash is also a new technique that it was introduced in the PS4 version of the game, while the old one didn't really have it. So there was quite of a game changer when people discovered that, and everyone was there for the grind. It was actually quite fun.
Yeah, what it does actually, when you stab a sigil and it's the last stab, and what happens is the black bars on the top and bottom of the screen fade in, and the timer runs for a little bit longer. But when you finish it off with a slash, it actually just completely it completely stops the timer, and it's the fastest way to finish off a Colossus, as well as a jump stab.
Yeah, it's basically the same effect as this jump stab, but much cooler. Much cooler.
It can only be done when there's very, very little health left as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
So next up we got Phaedra. The only differences to Phaedra is that there are 2 sigils on the front shoulders.
Below
this
the
is
neck,
also,
I guess.
Yeah, below the neck.
Yeah.
And this strat's pretty cool here. This is absolutely not the intended way to do it. It's pretty much been the same in all versions of the game. There's not really much differences, but yeah, this is probably one of the easier ones to actually get on, but that doesn't really mean much in this game.
Yeah, basically he uses the leg as an impulse for the jump, and like that there it was a minor sigil, just like the Malus leg. Basically gotta hit it 2 times so the neck can go like down a bit. It lowers a bit the neck. but they basically go for each sigil, you know, like they go for the first one and then they go back to the neck and then they stab again. And then the head sigil will be the last one this time. Which on normal, you know, the head sigil is the only one that has available on this mode there.
Yeah, it also takes like a ridiculous amount of stabs extra than in normal.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. It's
I
crazy.
actually forget how many stabs it is in hard, but it feels like it's about like 8 or 9. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like you know, the last one in Argus. They're like one of the most tricky when it comes to, you really need a plant for that, or you could be risky and try not to do a plant.
Yep, so right now Foxy's trying to make it back to the minor sigil. Yep, and he's on the head now.
Yeah.
So he's looking for the plant there. Looks like he got it.
Yeah, he got it.
On pretty much every Colossus, so.
Yeah. Some of them are more tricky than others, yeah. That's the only difference, yeah.
And then sometimes you don't even want to get a plant either.
Yeah, which,
and I guess I'll talk about that when it comes up. Because Kuromori is definitely the one you do not want to be getting the plant on.
Yeah.
So Foxy will be finishing up Phaedra here. Oh, he lost the plant.
Oh, he lost the plant.
Yeah, sometimes you can lose the plant when the angle of the like surface that you're on is kind of like 90 degrees. Oop, Tic Tac almost fell off there. Wander kind of controls like a, I don't know, he kind of controls like an infant. He just kind of wobbles around. But we should be seeing Tic Tac finish up Phaedra here soon.
Yeah, the lose of plant of Phaedra's back there, you know, on the head, it was actually quite common because for some reason the neck, even in the PS4 version, the neck kind of bends way too much. So that kind, you know, sometimes like his head just go all the way up, like, and that's really strong. Like that's too strong even for the plant to be able to handle. So yeah, sometimes you can literally get jumped over, like you can do like a super jump out of this. Which, you know, it wouldn't be actually very good for that situation.
Yeah. We'll probably be talking about super jumps a little later too. So
yeah,
there's only one like spot that we could find that's really useful for right now. It's not like new, but it's like new in how we're using it, I guess.
Yeah, and pretty much it has more like places to do on the PS4 version than the PS3. So yeah, way much more. So.
Yep. So right now, Foxy is on pretty much a fan favorite Colossus right now. Its name is Avion. It's one of the 2 flying colossi in the game. Shaped exactly like a bird. And so pretty much, it's pretty straightforward. You're kind of doing it as intended.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be anything too crazy unless
the acrobatics.
Yeah, exactly. The craziest thing is going to be when you're like dropping from a wing or something to like the back. But yeah, it can be tricky not to fall off. There are actually 2 different cycles that Avion can produce. So right now, you'll see the wing that he was on is kind of like, it was going upwards at like almost like a 90-degree angle. And that's actually the more dangerous of the 2 in this version, or in this difficulty. I think actually Foxy said he likes it more, so we'll see if he can actually... Yeah, so he just drops right down to the back.
Yeah.
He's going to wait out the first sigil here on the left wing. And the other cycle that you can get is if that wing, the first wing, dips downwards instead of upwards. It's actually a lot easier to traverse Avion in this difficulty. So that's what we pretty much hope for. So yeah, each wing is 2 stabs, or just about 2 stabs. It's like 1 in there.
It might be 1 in a bit more than a half, you know, maybe 60%.
Foxy's living dangerously on that one.
Oh yeah, the wind physics seems very different in the remake, right? Like it's very different than the original version I heard, and I played a bit. Yeah, it really feels. Yeah.
So you'll see something kind of funny here. The sigil on the tail is actually a ridiculously large hitbox, and it does not accurately represent the sigil that's actually on there.
Yeah, there's still like in the classic it was the same, you know, and on the remake it's like, yeah, we're gonna bring the good old classic, and all right, we're gonna bring this too, you know.
I was
So,
so
yeah.
scared right there. I'm just going to interject real fast. That was so scary. On that second wing, I was like, my heart started beating out of my chest.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Oh, that's a
Unfortunately,
tough one.
Tic Tac fell
Yeah.
off, which means he's not going to reset. So this means he's going to swim back to the platform and aggro Avion again. So that way Avion will just come right back to how it was before. It is a pretty big time loss, but the way this category works is time loss kind of almost doesn't mean anything if you're in a race, because the other person can easily lose that much time on further
Yeah.
Colossi.
And ironically enough, all the Colossus that they're like, the water, like in this sort of water, like platforming, is usually the ones that like you have a huge time loss where you fail then. So yeah.
So up next actually is Barba, and this is one of the cooler ones, and actually a new strategy that was found by I think it was Wacky Wolf who found it, which is pretty cool. Basically, yeah. So there's a sigil on Barba's left hand, and normally we go to the right hand immediately, but since there's a sigil on the left hand, we actually have to do this nice little strategy to get on there.
That's
And it
actually
takes
very
3
good.
steps. Yeah, he got it first try. It's a recent discovery, so might be a little inconsistent at it, but it's nice to see that he got it first
Yeah.
try.
The shakes on the hand though is still quite challenging, but I guess this strategy really helps you to at least deal one solid stab or even two, because if you actually do that, like in a different way, it might actually be way more trickier than this, and that was actually quite solid performance on Foxy's.
Yeah, so this is actually the same exact strategy now from here on that we use in normal mode. So it's another momentum trick, and you'll see.
So such a nice jump.
Oh, he's slipping and sliding. That's how Wander goes. So one thing that you can do, if you notice a Colossus start to rear back or do an animation that you don't want to happen, normally if you stab it all on their sigil, it'll interrupt the animation. So, it's so you don't get shaken or anything like that.
Also, you don't really need to stab on the sigil. If you stab anywhere, it also works.
Yeah.
So that's actually quite easy even for casual players that they're playing for the first time, and when Quadratus, for example, is shaking, just stab one time, it works.
Yep, and you'll see Tic Tac just finished Avion there. Unfortunate that he fell off, but he's definitely a skilled enough player to come back from that.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, Foxy just finished off with a slash that we were talking about earlier.
This slash is so swag, man.
Yeah, it's actually kind of risky, especially if you have the lead like that, but it saves a little bit of time. So why not go for it? So after you beat Avion, it's actually a really long wait in the water there.
Yeah, you gotta swing it to its direction, otherwise it might take longer. So yeah.
And that's definitely one where you can get a nice big sip of water. Next up on Foxy's end, we have Hydrus, and this one is pretty scary to do in hard mode. This is underwater creature, and pretty much what we do is manipulate the AI to swim a certain path, and then we do a jump stab in the water so it brings its head above water. And you'll note that if you play this casually, it's probably one of the more terrifying Colossi to go up against. Especially if you have a fear of deep waters.
Oh damn it.
Yeah, this Colossus definitely assisted in me putting the game down for a few months. So he leaves at a very certain time and from his starting position, and will stop at a very certain time. And this will get the perfect path for Hydrus. And then we do a pretty cool strategy where once we're on, we completely ignore the electric fin in order to pretty much just get extra jump stabs in on the head and do more damage faster. So you'll see he's been doing one jump stab, and he'll go for another one, and he barely lives with enough health, so he's going to destroy the sigil.
Yeah.
And then now he'll be able to hopefully not fall off.
Yeah, the water can take you all the way back, so you can get hit. And when it's like underwater, sort of the hitbox of the lighting is actually a bit bigger. So that's actually kind of dangerous because it can take damage for both places.
And this is the trolling that Hydrus likes to do. Once you destroy its fin, it's actually a lot harder to jump stab the head sigil because it'll bob down in the water if you get too close. So you have to jump from further back than you're normally used to in order to actually get the jump stab. So we see Tic Tac getting the hand sigil on Barba. I saw earlier it took him a try to get that, and this is not the animation he wants. I don't know if he's going to try to reset it, if he's going to try to get the animation he wants. But he basically wants Barba to step with the left leg so he can jump into the other hand.
Yeah, to the fist. Yeah, so like you can just climb on it, pretty much.
Yep, he got the appropriate animation there, so he's able to save it. And Hydrus is the longest wait after any Colossus as well.
Yeah, because he just falls down deep water. It's not really like forward like Avion. Like it's actually takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it's like 40 seconds or something like that.
Actually, even the original version is almost 1 minute, I think, depending, because it has loading even for that. So yeah.
He might even be able to squeeze a bathroom break in that time. So we see
sip of water
dropping down there to the back sigil. Takes 4 stabs, and then that'll be it for Barba. Next up, we have Kuromori for Foxy, and well, I think I'll let Riku take this one because he's kind of the master of this Colossus.
Yeah. So Kuromori is like, so usually what we do on a safe strategy like hard mode, we kind of do like a straightforward, like just whistle, do the whistle animation, and then you go down, positioning yourself for to shoot the arrow on both of the legs. So the higher the Kuromori climbs, the harder the fall. So like depending on how high she falls, you're gonna take like more time for her to stand up again. So that gives you enough time for basically deal many stabs as possible. So yeah, that's it. But the speedrun way is actually quite different. We don't use arrows. Yeah, so
the individual level is pretty crazy for this class.
Yeah,
definitely check out Riku's channel if you want to see that, because it's pretty crazy. You only beat Kuromori with a sword, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I was talking about cycle stabs earlier, and if you do not do cycle stabs on Kuromori, it can be really difficult to get the one cycle. You'll notice Kuromori right now is starting to kind of like shake. Once Kuromori shakes for a good amount of, or like a decent amount of time, it'll start to turn back over. And if you don't get all your stabs in before it turns back over, you have to knock it off the wall again so you can get back on. So Kuromori is usually like the easiest in normal time attack, but he can be kind of tricky in hard time attack.
Yeah. Especially the AI. Yeah, the AI is the main problem with Kuromori, like all the time.
So Tic Tac was able to make it onto Hydrus here. He's going to go for the double jump stab onto the head. And okay, so he missed the second jump stab, but what he can do here is actually just go for a nice safe strategy to get all the head stabs there.
Yeah, that's kind of a backup strat actually, which it works for recovery as well, so that's very nice.
Yeah, it only takes about like 6-7 seconds longer. It doesn't take very much time.
Yeah.
So next up we have Basaran, and this is my favorite Colossus to do. I spent a long time grinding out the ILs for Basaran. Basically, you want to run over to your horse. This is the first one that involves a horse, right? So far. So you want to run over to aggro and just wait for a split second to get on. If you don't wait, then Basaran will do a different animation and start shooting you immediately. This way we can line up the leg perfectly and just zoom right on over to the head. So that's actually a really precise, like 2 jumps in a row there that you have to take. It's actually 3 if you count the one from aggro to the leg. You want to get in a really good position, and if you don't, it can be pretty detrimental.
Yeah, the shaking on Basaran might be probably the worst among all of them. Maybe this or Hydrus. So a plan is really necessary, for like it's really necessary. It's mandatory in a way. But IL's it's kind of ignoring that at this point. Shout out to Hammer.
Yeah, it looked like Foxy got the plant there. So, as you can see, never mind.
See,
I
yeah,
think when he went to stab, it dinked the outer rim there, and it knocked him out of the plant. If you are not able to get a plant, it wastes like 8 to 10 seconds in between head shakes, and that adds up over like multiple, especially in hard where you have more damage to do.
yeah. That's a good Basaran, by the way.
Yeah, that was a very good Basaran. And then Tic Tac right now on Kuromori. Again, it can always be tricky if you don't get those cycle stabs on the upper sigil. We'll see how it ends up going here. I think Tic Tac will be fine. Oh, that late knockback there might cause something, but as long as he gets some good cycle stabs, then he'll be fine.
Oh, that was a good spot. That's a good spot.
Yeah, there's specific spots you kind of want to be in as well. If you're like left of the sigil, you'll get a plant there, and it's not good. So it takes 6 stabs on each sigil. Next up, we got
a big opportunity for TikTok to catch up. Like, what's the next hardest Colossus for Foxy?
Well, honestly, they're all like kind of equally hard, but the biggest one is Pelagia.
Pelagia.
Yeah, absolutely. So Pelagia, I guess we'll go into it once we get there, but it's definitely like a run killer, like the run killer. And it's similar to Avion, where if you mess it up, you can waste like a minute or so easily.
And like another thing I would like to add is like, even if you do like successfully, I think Pelagia might be the one that takes more the time. For speedrunning, it might take around like, I don't know, 10 minutes or even a bit more.
Yeah, so it's usually around 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So Dirge here can be a little tricky. In hard mode, is actually a little bit easier than it is in normal. Basically, if you do too much damage to one of these 2 sigils, it'll destroy the sigil basically, so you can't stab it anymore, and it'll go underground. And that's really bad. That's known as a 2 cycle on this guy. So it takes about 4 stabs and about maybe a 70 to 80% stab additionally.
Pretty much, yeah.
And if he does that correctly, he'll be able to go right up to the second sigil and then do as much damage as possible to that one, and it'll finish off.
Yeah, I think Foxy got it right. So yeah, it's like, each sigil has like about 50%. So one has to be in 49. So like, we actually can do it that even in some other Colossus maybe, but I guess for Dirge is more useful because it actually affects the animation. Like he can just leave if you do it wrong, but he can stay if you do it right.
Yeah. So we'll see if he got the 1 cycle. Dirge is relatively easy and hard. One thing though is if you get hit by Dirge on the way to the wall, it does like almost all of your health. Like you have a very low amount of health, and that can matter. So
and that goes to normal as well, yeah.
Yeah, so Tic Tac's finally able to get on Basaran here. Basaran is pretty tricky. Tic Tac's pretty good at this Basaran though. So Foxy right now is moving on to Celosia. Celosia is also probably one of the easier ones. So if I had to choose like the 3 easiest, Celosia would probably be in the 3 easiest to do. Casually, what you're supposed to do is get a torch from the top of like a statue, and then you'll have to go to another statue to light the torch, and then Celosia is scared of fire, so you'll have to lead Celosia off the edge of a cliff, and it'll break the armor on its back. But what we do here is we pretty much just pick up the torch, light it on fire, go run over towards the edge of the cliff, and then when you don't have the torch in hand, Celosia will charge at you. So you drop the torch. When Celosia charges at you, then you pick it back up, and then Celosia will hit you off the edge, but it counts as if though you had the torch and pushed Celosia off. So it's a pretty cool strategy. It's probably like the closest thing to a glitch that we utilize.
Yeah, and also one of the fastest too. like people has been discovering new things, and I guess it got down like to 20 or even 19 seconds. It's crazy to think that you can defeat a Colossus that fast. And Celosia is very small Colossus. I'm pretty sure some people feel very bad for him, and being defeated such fast is
Yeah.
survival thump.
So there you can see he picked up the torch just right in time there, so Celosia hit him off the edge, and it activated the cutscene. And now he'll be able just to drop right on top of Celosia. And Celosia takes 3 fully charged stabs, so he's going to go ahead and do a jump stab there. There's no real benefit to it. I think it might net you a plant pretty easy afterwards if you hit the right spot, so Celosia can shake you around quite a bit.
Yeah. But the plan for Celosia is quite easy too, and that jump step there is actually cool because I think on the PS4 version they kind of increased the range for jump stabbing, because I'm pretty sure every time I do that in the original version, you kind of get stuck, it kind of messes up. So it's actually a very cool technique and advantage for the PS4 version.
I actually didn't know that you couldn't jump stab from that high.
Yeah, see, yeah, it's crazy.
So not sure what just happened on Tic Tac there, but he had to retry Dirge. Not doesn't take too long to retry.
Yeah.
The ones you really don't want to like retry on are going to be the ones that take a while to get started. So like pretty much like Avion and them. The ones you have to swim to, Hydrus. So here is the run killer for Foxy. Well, for anyone really, but specifically right now, Foxy. He's on Pelagia, and we do a neat little strategy here from the beginning. It doesn't take too long if you mess it up. You time arrows correctly so that way you aggro Pelagia at the right time, and then you can jump straight to the face. But I think he didn't wait long enough to do the jump there, so he's going to have to retry it.
Mm-hmm.
That only wastes like a few seconds, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, because swimming all the way to the back is quite tricky because Pelagia keeps like spinning and turning. So like you basically just try to chase. It's basically a cat trying to chase his tail or something. So like that's the easier way, and he got it. That was good.
Yep. So that's the easy part. The hard part's coming up here. The AI for Pelagia is absolutely insane. So you'll notice sometimes you'll hit the tooth and Pelagia will just like spin like 90 degrees. Sometimes Pelagia will spin like only 20 degrees or something like that. So the trick here to beating this Colossus in 2 cycles is you have to get on the sigil and stab as fast as you can. If you don't get on there in time and start stabbing, then you'll have to 3-cycle Pelagia. It's a very, very tight timing, and it looks like Foxy was able to get the timing for it. But the thing that really stinks about this Colossus is that
nice launch.
You could set up the 2-cycle, and you could still lose a lot of time. So
yeah.
It also does increase damage too. So if you end up getting shot by its like lasers,
projectiles, projectiles, yeah.
It can almost wipe you out in one hit. So.
Mm-hmm.
So there's actually a little trick there where you can jump onto Pelagia right before the cutscene starts, and in most cutscenes you can't move during. There's only a few that you can, so it's pretty nice that we're able to set it up to where we could get on the head there.
And Pelagia is one of that you're never able to move, so that was actually very good as well.
Yeah, and this is actually a really solid run from Foxy too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm like thinking of like what has gone wrong in his run so far, and there hasn't been much. So hopefully I didn't just jinx him. So he's doing a little trick there where you can jump on the brim of Pelagia's nose, and it'll cancel the shooting animation, and Pelagia will jump straight up. So actually, Foxy can just take his time now and get these 3 stabs, since it's guaranteed at this point.
You've cursed me. That's all I'm gonna say.
I cursed you. Uh-oh. I don't like the sound of that. So Tic Tac right now is finishing up Celosia. Getting Celosia in a good spot here. The good thing about doing Celosia like this is that no matter what, you can guarantee that you will get the cutscene. as long as you aren't taking too long to pick up the torch, Celosia will like slowly get closer and closer. So Tic Tac's gonna jump away from Celosia so that Celosia doesn't wake up, and then he's gonna run up and get the plant. And so 3 stabs will go ahead and finish off Celosia.
Yeah, that's a good plan too. It's alright.
Foxy is currently moving on to
Phalanx.
Phalanx. Yeah,
Phalanx, yeah.
I do that all the time.
It's alright.
There's so many of them.
So many names, yeah.
This is the fan favorite. This is the one that does nothing to Wander at all. Never aggressive in any sort of way.
Yeah.
But we have to take it down in the speed run. So
For the girl, for Mona. Yeah.
it's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. It's kind of how you're supposed to do it. We just kind of do it faster.
Yeah, the only difference is that depending of how fast, they're like Foxy is doing like, in a safe way. But if you ride on aggro and they start just shooting it like a total badass, basically Phalanx can literally just win all the way down to the sand, like almost close to the ground, and that allows you just to straight up jump on the sigil. Not you don't even need to climb on the wings. But it's actually quite tricky to do because you also need like good aiming skills, but not only that, good aggro skills, which some people can get very frustrated with it. So yeah.
Yeah, so I would recommend everyone go and check out. Ooh, hold on a second. Oh, he saved it. Nice save.
Nice save, yeah.
That jump is a lot harder than it looks, especially because you're coming at such an aggressive angle.
And besides, you need the aggro control as well. So that.
So the only thing you don't want to mess up now on Phalanx is if you end up stabbing a little bit too much on the 3rd stab, it'll activate an animation, I guess, from Phalanx to where it'll start doing a barrel roll. And if it starts doing a barrel roll, that's bad news. You gotta really buck it down the rest of the 2 sigils because the little flaps that are up right now, those will close and you won't be able to get the 1 cycle. So I couldn't tell the Tic Tac. I think Tic Tac ended up getting the amount of stabs he needed in for the 1 cycle. So hopefully he'll be able just to. And he's on Pelagia, so yeah, he
got it too. That was good. That was actually quite tricky to do actually because sometimes you can get shaken off and you get shaken off the water. So like you gotta wait the cutscene to end and then do it again. So.
And on top of that, it's out of your control.
Yeah,
you have to get
which is bad.
Yeah, you can aim your jump pretty well, but it's pretty much all up to Pelagia's discretion on that one.
Ooh.
Foxy is getting... Oh, he didn't finish off his sigil.
Yeah, exactly.
Damage.
No, I think he has time, maybe. But running all the way back is actually difficult because, the wind is kind of against you.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
So, yeah. With sigil it was.
Oh, he's got to go to the first one?
No.
Yeah, he has a sword out. He has to go to the first one.
Oof.
I think it's going to close on him. Yep, there it goes. Oh, he's retrying instead of just getting on aggro and completing it. So.
Oh, damn, dude.
Yeah. So this is actually really good for Tic Tac to come back into the race.
So yeah, that kind of goes back. Yeah, that kind of goes back to what Church said. Anything can happen and anything can be difficult. That's how it works out in Shout the Colossus races.
Yeah, and a lot of these 1 cycles. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That was 2 cycle on Pelagia for TikTok, wasn't it?
Yeah, he got the 2 cycle. It was excellent. That's really hard to do. He is pretty much pioneering like the hard time attack right now. He's kind of figured out strategies that make it a lot easier for things like Pelagia. So he was the one who pretty much he didn't like entirely figure out how you need to do it, but in this version he kind of figured out more consistent. So Foxy right now is retrying. That's like one thing that's really hard about this game too, is that for these cycles that we need to do, the precision stabs are like really precise. Like when we say precision, we really mean it.
Yeah.
If you do just a little bit more damage than you're supposed to, you could lose like minutes. So this game's very punishing. So it's cool to see him on the same Colossus this far into the game.
Mhm.
Usually races that tend to even out towards the end because it's really hard to get like a near perfect run in.
Mhm. Especially also depending on the strategy you're trying. If you're trying to go for such a risky one, it's just, you know, it might take time. It might take like a few retries or so, but that's up to you, you know.
Right. And actually, coming up, the next Colossus is actually like, I would say it's probably Tic Tac's strongest Colossus. He spent a lot of time grinding that Colossus, and there's
The
a very
grinding was
specific,
insane.
yeah, and there's a really specific strat that he came up with. Well, he didn't come up with it, but that he was able to execute and pretty much take further than anyone, and that's the super jump. So I'll go ahead and talk about that once we get there.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if Foxy's going to go for it or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. But I think, just to kind of an explanation, I think what happened there was on the first sigil, I kept getting shaken out of my stab, and I think as soon as I hit the stab button, Phalanx shook, and then I heard the stab sound, but it didn't actually connect in the game.
I've had that
So-
happen before. Yep.
Yep. And so I
Mhm.
saw it, and I hesitated for a second. I was like, "Wait, did it stab?" And then, as you saw, it didn't. So, yeah, the
Mhm.
game. Sometimes the game just tells you no, and you can't really do anything about it. So that's why we love it.
Yeah.
It feels like it was like an uncharged stab, like the original, because the original, if you do that, you know, it doesn't really work. So it kind of works the same way as Slash, I think. I'm not sure, but no. Yeah, sometimes it happens that those little glitches, you know, can mess up really with the run.
We're still like finding new weird glitches and everything like that that have absolutely nothing to help the run.
Yeah. And there's the
So-
pixel health as well, which, wow.
Pixel health. Yeah, so in certain situations, you can do as much damage as like possible and come up a little bit short because you did a little bit less damage than you're supposed to on a previous sigil. So
Yeah.
that's always annoying. Right now we got Cenobia. Cenobia is the other small Colossus. What we do here is we kind of just skip all the pillars and everything like that. In the casual playthrough, you're supposed to get Celosia to tackle pillars and knock them down, so that way you can pretty much climb on them like jungle gyms and get to this big pillar right here at the end. So he's gonna go for the super jump, which
Super
you
jump, yeah.
and he got it.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
fast. That was really good. So you clip into the bottom of the pillar, and if you mash jump, I don't know if it's like a specific frame or not. So because we just mash it.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to be consistent with like one or two button taps or whatever, but if you
Yeah.
mash well enough, you can pretty much just get extra height. And sometimes
Oh.
you can go like halfway up the pillar.
Yeah, all you have to do is just wait for the stumble animation once Wander is stumbling. Oh, then he did another technique. That's good.
Yeah, he did the
Wacky jump, yeah.
Yeah,
The
wacky
wacky jump, yeah.
So I guess I'll go into detail once Tic Tac gets there about the
Mhm.
wacky jump, since we kind of missed it there. There's a lot of strats happening very fast.
Yeah, Cenobia was literally the game changer. Like I said, you know, Tic Tac was grinding really, really hard on that one.
Yep. So you just have to aggro Cenobia while you're on top of that little awning area there, and then he'll come and knock it over and break the armor on its back. So you can jump on the back and take it out. It takes about it's 8 stabs, 9 stabs. It takes a lot.
Takes a lot, yeah. He's
So
very
Tic
like,
Tac's- What's that?
yeah, he takes a lot of time in the area.
For sure. So Tic Tac's going for the super jump here, and as you can see, it's pretty simple for him. He's really good at that technique. So
Damn.
yeah, so he's going to be going for the wacky jump. So you can actually move in this cutscene after the pillar gets tackled, and there are little ledges in the wall behind this wall that breaks that you can land on, and you can traverse them in the cutscene and get onto the plateau without having to wait to see your position. So he messed it up there, but he's gonna go and just do the backup, where you just do it without doing it in the cutscene. It's a lot easier to see where you're at.
Oh, he also got the wacky jump. Man, that's a very solid run.
Yeah, that's
Tic
really
Tac.
cool. We just found that out like recently.
Yeah. It really displays how good he is, Cenobia.
So we're in a pretty tight race here. We're going on to Argus. Argus is one that was pretty difficult for a while. It's gotten a little bit easier to do with time. So this one, in the previous games, you could not do what we're going to do, or let's just say there is a different way of doing it in the older games. So in the older games, you had to get on the belt of Argus and then just kind of like launch yourself up. And the key difference here is that there's like a minor sigil on his elbow that you have to stab and he'll drop his weapon so you can get into his hand. But in this version, you cannot actually do damage to that sigil at all until a certain cutscene happens. And that kind of takes a while to do. So we just get into his hand with the weapon in it. And it's really
Yeah, just like that.
It's a really precise jump. And it looks like he's in there.
He's in there, down. That was good.
Takes 2 stabs. Sigil breaks. So he's gonna wait for the second like animation of yeah, there he goes. Oh, uh-oh, wait. Yep, he's just gonna retry. So this is actually getting kind of close now.
Yeah, Argus is also a little reminder, one that probably for some people considered to be the final boss of this game, truly, because he actually gives a much of a headache for both casual players and speedrunners.
Oh yeah,
So,
when you
he's very
actually get
challenging.
on his head, he does not. Actually, anywhere. If you're anywhere on his body, he does not. give up.
Exactly, yeah. Especially the head, and I think I had more problems with the chest. I think on hard, this one is just it's a big trouble.
Oh, he missed it again. So we have one more Colossus after this, and that's like the actual final boss. But yeah, like Riku was saying, this one by many is considered to be the final boss. So we'll have like another Colossus after this one.
Oh, Tic-Tac got it.
Yep, Tic-Tac's in the hand. So we saw Foxy do a nice little jump from the leg to the head. It's a specific lineup that we knew about from the PlayStation 2 days, and we're able to replicate it in this version.
Ooh, nice.
Yep. And they're actually really close. So the last sigil is the most annoying. That's on the chest. And he shakes like crazy. And then you can't stab it when he's walking either. So there are like moments in between shaking and walking that you can stab. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Tic-Tac's going for the plant on the head to get the last stabs in.
He's so close, dude.
Foxy is
That's
having
hype.
a really hard time getting to this.
Yeah, so yeah, the shaking from him, like, I don't know, is literally the worst. Malus also has like a lot of shaking, the last Colossus, but at the same time the plants are more easier. When it comes to Argus, for some reason it just isn't, like it's very tough.
Yeah, Foxy just stopped the animation of the shaking. They're both in really similar situations. Tic-Tac misses the stab on the sigil there. This is one where it's really precise. You have to be on the sigil to damage to. If you are anywhere around it, you will miss it.
Yeah, you'll miss it, definitely.
So one big concern here on Argus is actually stamina. So hopefully that doesn't play an issue here with Tic-Tac. He's got like one stab and then a smaller stab after that. So he should get close to full stab. Oh, it was just a full stab.
Ooh.
So we are moving on to the last Colossus now.
Yeah. The demise of the ritual. Malus.
Oh yeah. And Malus is basically like a gauntlet. You have to run a very specific track to get to him, or else you'll get shot with big bolts of... I don't even know what they are. They're just big bolts.
Yeah, there's just straight up Michael Bay, to be honest. It's just... that's just what it is.
Michael Bay production.
Yeah.
You'll see... Like I said, there's a nice little route you take, and then for the rest of the run, you're pretty much just... Malus will always shoot like under your feet. So you'll see the very last... You'll see once they get past the specific jump, then they'll just be able to run along the side of like a ridge and then the shots will just hit right underneath Wander's feet and not do anything. It's going to take a nice little 90-degree around that pillar. Foxy, there's a really specific jump hold that you have to do here. I'm not sure if he got it. We'll see if he gets hit or not. It looks good.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
Yep. So he'll be able just to run straight there now.
Yeah, that
like
part's
Tic-Tac
more
got it.
safe than the beginning. Yeah.
Okay, so Tic Tac can actually mash right here to get up a little bit faster, and he'll be able to roll there. I don't think he'll get shot by them. Yep,
Good.
he's good. So Foxy is moving on to the last part of the Colossus, and time is called when the cutscene after the last stab happens. So you'll see time slow down, and then you'll see the black bars come in, and then that's when I'll call time as well. So we have Tic Tac running up. The last cutscene is about to play, or you can't move in that cutscene. I wish you could. That'd be great. So
Yeah.
Foxy is moving up to the parkour section. This is like the only platforming in the game that's relevant in Boss Rush. Nice little side jump there, clips onto the ledge. Sometimes the wind can also like knock you over and stuff, and that's kind of rough.
Yeah, sometimes it can fall all the way below. That happened to me quite sometimes, to be honest.
So Foxy is going for the jump onto the hand. Ooh, he barely snapped onto the hand there. He's in a
nice.
weird spot though. He's not in a spot to where he can get on the bracer very well. This is Tic Tac's chance to catch up right now.
Good.
Foxy has to wait this cycle out in order to get onto the bracer, and then you use the little lift from the bracer
Good. Oh,
to
good
get
job,
on the
Tic
head.
Tac.
Foxy just jumped on the head. Now we're waiting for Tic Tac to do it. And so the rest should be about history here. It's just going to take a few stabs on the head. Looks like you can get a plant on there too. So the worst case scenario is that you stab a little bit too early on the second stab and you get knocked out of your plant.
You get knocked out, yeah. It was a very strong shake, actually. One of the strongest of the game, but I think that's up to Argus, yeah. The Argus
So
is definitely
the time is coming up after this last stab here, and I'll call it, like I said. Wow, I cannot believe how close this race is.
It's crazy how it turned out to be.
And time. And then Tic Tac's time is coming up after one more stab. Time. Wow,
9 seconds.
what a great race.
That was very solid. That was legit very solid.
I actually have never seen a race that close in this game. That is absolutely fantastic.
Nerve-wracking.
Especially after that start.
Nerve-wracking. Yeah.
Practicing that Avion wing so
was
many
trying to-
times.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Dude.
there's like this easy animation where there's basically nothing you can do wrong, and I got that more often than not in the practice. And then I get the difficult animation not only here in the race, but also I fail the jump barely, which, like, I don't know, it's just very tough this game. Every mistake is like absolutely abysmal, and I'm happy I could actually get a comeback to some extent to make it at least a little bit entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys
Well,
played
Tic
awesome.
Tac, somebody in chat's calling for a best 2 or 3. Wanna go again?
We did that in
kinda-
practice, and I was about to pass out.
That kind of happened yesterday, actually. On the practice, yeah.
I won the first one, and Tic Tac took the next 2. Oh, I should say another friend of our community took the second race. But yeah, it was a great race overall.
Aiden.
Yeah. Shout
Shout out to Aiden. Yeah.
He's in chat as well. Hey, Aiden, how's it going? I saw Hummer as well. Hummer, wonderful to see you, my friend. But
Yeah, we have an awesome community here. Especially like there's so many categories. Well, there's not like a lot of categories, but there are like 3 main like versions of the game that you can run. You can do like individual levels, you can do like full runs, full game runs, and then you can do these time attacks. And we have a great variety of people that play this game. We have people from Brazil, Japan, Germany,
Italy.
France, Italy.
Maybe from Spain as well. But local name back in the day, you know,
Oh
like
yeah, Spain,
yeah.
We even
Portugal.
have a few Canadians.
Yeah, Portugal, Stormglad, for those who's into the speedrunning, Stormglad is also an amazing run as well.
Definitely search up Stormglad on YouTube right now and watch this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his runs are crazy.
But
If
the
you wanna
Brazilian speedrun
see-
is definitely Marcelo as well. Very good
Oh yeah,
runner.
Marcelo. If you want to see like this game pushed to its absolute limit, then definitely go to the IO leaderboards on our speedrun.com page and watch the records for the Colossi, and they're all crazy.
Yeah, go watch Kuromori. You'll be
Very
very
excited about
surprised
that
after
already.
watching what we just did to see what they're doing, specifically on normal mode. But yeah, that's the crazy difference. But yeah,
Pretty
Oh.
much.
okay, all the stress is off. I can relax for the rest of the evening.
That was a really close
Yeah.
race. Thanks, guys, for continuing the tradition of the hotfix races always being ridiculously close.
Nice.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. I'll actually
Yeah.
be streaming after this as well. Monday nights are my usual streaming nights, so if people want to stop in after that, feel free to hop in and say hi. But definitely check out Tic Tac. He's the current world record holder in this category, so he's like Church said, he's put a lot into this category and has a guide out for HTA that he's spent a lot of time on and really helped the community out with it. So it's been a good run, boys.
And if you're looking to play the game as well, we have a Team Ico Speedruns Discord. So it's not only Shadow of the Colossus, but we also have Ico. We also have
Yeah.
Well,
We
nobody
also
really
have-
runs the Last Guardian.
we have the Last Guardian, but we don't talk
for
about
those,
the Last
yeah.
Guardian.
We
For
don't
those who
talk about
want, we can talk about it. In my case, I haven't played it, but it's welcome for everyone who wants to try. It's always nice seeing new people getting around there. Like Shadow Colossus used to be such a like it used to be all over the place, but now we're actually gathering people around. And like it's all nice to see that. To be honest, So yeah.
Geek community, we're here to have fun, speed run lots. So good stuff.
All right. Do you guys have any other shoutouts that you want to go for before I sign out?
I think that should be about it.
Yeah, I think that's about it for us.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks again to Cleo and Tic Tac for that run. That was a great run. And of course, to Church and Riku for giving us the great commentary to go with it. As a reminder, if you want to see a game on the Spotlight, you can submit suggestions to our form, which is at gamesdonequick.com/hotfix/spotlight-form. You can find that link in !spotlight in chat as well. And just wanted to mention that Hotfix is funded in part thanks to your subscriptions. So thanks everybody who's subscribed to the stream today. It helps support future broadcasts. Tune in tomorrow for Sprint at 8 p.m. Eastern. Games Done Quick Express submissions are open July 7th. And one more big thank you to everyone who donated during SGQ and helped us hit that $3 million mark for Doctors Without Borders. It's incredible. But we are going to go offline and host another speedrun stream. So why don't you go over there, show them some support and love, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow for the sprint.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Thank you very much.